Thank you very much, Mr. Olson.
I thank the chair, and howdy, Secretary Perry.
Don't go over your time, Pete.
Never my intention. I want to start off, sir, with something that's very important to Fort Bend County, a town called Needville, Texas. I want to give you a personal invitation from a young Texas lady we both know and admire. Her name is Katie Vosick.
Yep.
You remember you met her at President Trump's first speech before Congress. She fell out of a live oak tree, broke her spine, has not walked for 3 years. As you can see now, she's a fellow Aggie, proud Aggie. And she wants to thank you personally for meeting with her and inspiring her to get moving forward and going to College Station. So on her behalf, maybe find some time to come down to Needville, Texas. The J Cafe had the best chicken fried steak and pecan pie in all of Texas. And maybe pop over to the Petronova power plant right across the way from Needville. So if you have some time, come down. I'd love to have you come down.
You don't even have to use the extra bait of chicken fried steak to get me there.
Thank you. Now I have a question that's very important in my hometown of Sugar Land, Texas. It involves the NNSA. As you know, the NNSA picks up some nuclear waste that's been used by industry and then disposes of it. They send it out to a site called the Waste Isolation Pilot Plant, the WIPP. Radioactive americium-241 is needed for safe drilling. This is one of the nuclear wastes. It is a known carcinogen. Usually what happens, NNSA picks it up and they send it off for safe storage somewhere in America. But there's a very small amount of that mineral that is picked up by NNSA but can't be kept here because it came from foreign sources originally. It's an identical fuel, identical. We can't dispose of it because it came from another country. And so we have these sites all across our country now, right now, sprinkled with this radioactive waste. One site, Secretary Perry, is half a mile from my son's high school, Fort Bend Christian. In 2015, they had a small release of americium and cesium-137. Workers took that home on their clothes. And I'd like to change the law to make sure we dispose of this carcinogen without regard to where it came from. So are you aware of this? And how can we help you to make this common sense, dispose, and not delay?
Yes, sir. Congressman Olson, we are familiar with this, and what I apologize for turning my back to you and asking a question, but because I wanted to make sure that I was correct in the assumption that I was making that this is going to require a statutory change, of which you just mentioned, and we will assist you any way we can from the standpoint of using science at the labs or what have you to back up, because I agree with you that these types of materials do need to be put in an appropriate disposal places, and so the idea that just because it was produced in a foreign country versus the exact same element that is produced at a national labs reactor for these isotopes, and there's a host of these isotopes that we use in medical and obviously for the oil and gas industry. But we agree that the statute needs to be changed because it clearly, I think it's the old Land Use Act that prohibits any foreign produced elements of being placed in like the whip. So we would support your effort there, and anything that we can do from a scientific standpoint to back that up, consider it available.
It sounds like I have to call the ball. 3 down, cleared to land. This is our job, not your job. Yes, we're on that, sir. Thank you so much. The final question, very brief, is about AI. As Mr. McNary mentioned, we are the co-chairs of the House AI Caucus, and your video was awesome. It shows the potential future about AI. Can you discuss briefly about AI's potential for protecting our grid, protecting our pipelines, protecting our national labs? I mean, this is the future. And how are you guys doing that, DOE, to make sure we utilize?
I can't do it briefly because it's just such a broad, but I think at some time in the future, let me just leave it at this. I don't think there is a field that the government is participating in that has any more potential to have bigger impact on our citizens than artificial intelligence. The supercomputers that the department operates, 2 of the fastest, 5 of the 10 fastest that we operate, and our next level computers are going to be operating the exascale computer that's coming online at Argonne over in Mr. Foster's district in 2021 will do 1 billion transactions per second. That's the speed of which that's anywhere between, I think it's up to 50 times faster than the computers we have today. I mean, it's fascinating work. So the AI, machine learning that's coming with that, we're going to find answers to challenges that we had no idea we were going to be able to address in the very near future.
Thank you. Final request, beat Alabama. I yield back.